Hello fellow navigators. Now I've made this video to talk you through what's included in the Nonchalant Navigator free travel journal and trip planner PDF. Now I'm on my website's home screen right now, and as you can see just below the main title you can see how you can get your hands on this free travel journal and holiday planner for your first post-COVID trip. All you have to do is enter your email, click complete, and then it will be sent straight to your inbox to download. It's printable, you can edit it online, you can use it to plan all your future trips and use it as a travel journal so you never forget a great memory, a great experience from your times abroad. So you remember everything for your own future reference and so you can share your stories with friends. So that's a free travel journal and trip planner. Just head to the homepage nonchalantnavigator.com. Now let's start talking about what's included. Once you've downloaded the resource sent to your email, your page will look a little bit like this. This is the travel journal and trip planner by Nonchalant Navigator, and you have two choices from here. If you want to print the PDF, you can do that from here and write all your journal entries by hand with a pencil and draw on the maps, colour in the maps, construct your bucket list, etc. by hand, or you can also download it from here and edit the travel journal and trip planner online. I'm going to briefly mention two online services, both of which there's no downloads attached, but you can edit these PDF documents online. So if you don't have a printer, or you just don't want a printer, you want to keep it on your device, on your phone, so you can edit your travel journal and trip planner on the road, then I'm going to briefly mention two little bits of software which you don't have to download to do this, which you can use for free. The first of which, as I've used in my previous video to show you how to duplicate individual travel journal pages, like the blank travel journal page or the blank bucket list page, which you might need if you need more room and more space for your writing and journaling. So it's Soda PDF, as aforementioned in my previous video, and as you can see on here, you just need to open the document from your files, and then from here you can edit it similarly to the Acrobat Reader, but with a little less freedom. As you can see, there's no ticks or crosses that you can use on the document. You can type text, and it's got quite a nice animation for when you turn the pages, but for me what I would use is Docfly, which I will use to talk about all the features of the travel journal and trip planner now. So this is Docfly, something you can use to edit PDFs online for free. You don't need to sign up. As you can see, you can just upload the document straight off the bat, as you can see, which I've done earlier. You click it, it opens up, and just click edit, which is clearly seen at the top left, and you can start changing the document. You can start writing travel journal articles, you can start ticking off countries that you've been to, putting crosses on maps, and I'm going to talk you through most of the features of this free resource now. Once you open the document on Docfly, you'll be greeted by the front cover page of the travel journal, and you'll hop onto what's inside the contents page, as you might have seen on the website, as it's one of the feature images. And the travel journal, it's more than just a travel journal. It begins with the world map, then a black and white world map, so you can print it and colour it in if you so wish. Continent maps, minus Antarctica. A country's checklist for every single continent as well. A travel bucket list page with some ideas and inspiration for what you could put into it. A trip planning section with ideas for what to include. Then the travel journaling pages with prompts and ideas to use if you're ever stuck with ideas for what to include in your travel journal. Then a bit about me, a bit about the Nonchalant Navigator, and how to contact me if you need any help. Moving on to our first substantive page, it's the first section for maps of the world. So it just tells you what's included, which maps are included, and it gives you some ideas for what to do with them, which I'll talk you through now as well. So the first is the map of the world, as mentioned. Then you'll get the blank black and white one for you to colour in. And then you'll get these individual continent maps for you to do with as you please. For instance, if we take South America, on Docfly you can see at the top here that you've got some options with the text, a check, cross, add an image, signature, draw, shapes, etc. Now what you can do with these continent map pages is think about where you want to go first and foremost with a visual aid, but also maybe plan your trips visually with kind of like a route plan. You can use these crosses, obviously up the size because this travel journal is built to be an A4 size, and I'm zoomed in a bit here, which you'll need to do if you use Docfly or another PDF editor. And say you were going from Brasilia to Sao Paulo, you could put a cross here and a cross here for the two destinations. And if you're a better drawer than me with a steadier hand, you could do a little dotted line across to show your path. And obviously with more cities, more countries, you could do a more fleshed out version of this. That's only one use for the continent maps. You can really do whatever you so wish. Moving on to the countries checklist. As with this entire trip planner and journal, it's really up to you. You can use all the pages, you can only use some of the pages, just use the journal if you please, but these pages are here for you to use. With all these images and text, you can of course change the color, using something that you can see with this blue and white background. But with these countries checklists, again, you can use them to tick off the countries you've been to, tick off the countries you want to go to, and by using these kind of stickers or stamps, you can just click like so, tick as many as you wish for whatever purpose you wish, then write down at the bottom there how many you've been to or how many of the countries you want to go to. So I've ticked it 4 times, I can put a 4. Need to make that a little bit bigger. 4 countries out of 23. You can see the rest of the checklist, and you can print these out individually as well. When you come to print, you can select a specific page and just print that one. So you could print a certain map or a certain checklist, put it on your wall, take it away from the rest of the journal to show someone. The possibilities are really endless with this. Moving on to the bucket list section, it's got some guidance to show you what kind of things you can include in your bucket list. Obviously you may have your own idea already. This is for those that need a bit more guidance, or maybe to think about things that they may have not considered before, such as dishes, drinks and snacks to try. That's something I always research before going to a destination. I always make sure I know what are the traditional foods to look out for. Animals to see, if you're into nature and an animal lover. Wonders of the world. But since it's a bucket list, you can really go for like fears, like heights or jumping out of an aeroplane, balloon ride in Turkey. And then you've got different terrains, visit a desert, swimming in the ocean if you haven't done that before. Your bucket list should really be tailored for you and what you want to accomplish in your travels in the future. But as I said, this is just to give you a rough idea and maybe a few more things to think about. Moving on. Now the trip planning page is a little bit different. There are some blank pages after this, but I've also put some kind of prompts within the planning pages. So as I said, there are some blank ones, but if you want to use this for some more structure, you put in your destination, time difference, mode of transport, the exchange rate if there is one, your accommodation address, which can be important at the airport, but also just for you if you're in a country, especially if you don't know the language, the accommodation address, your hotel, your hostel might be in a different language. So if you're taking a taxi or you're asking for directions, it could be useful to have this which you can show them. Your flight number and flight time when you're filling in those pesky immigration cards or those transit cards. An emergency number, that could be, if someone finds the journal and they need to call a next of kin, or the emergency number of that country, like 999 in the UK or 911 in the States. After the little introduction for the travel bucket list, you'll have these blank pages to, write the actual travel bucket list. I've touched on this in my previous video, how to duplicate online previous PDF pages. Now that's important for sections like this in conjunction to the planning phase and the travel journal itself, as if you filled up all these pages available, there are a few, but you may fill those up, so you'd need to duplicate more or print more if you're doing it with paper and pen. Next you'll get to the trip planning phase, which is essential for any trip, if we're honest, even if we're not a planner. There's certain things that you have to jot down and think about before you travel, even if it's as simple as the destination, what city you'll go to next, the currency, etc. Once more, you've got a few things here to help guide you, or a few things in case you've forgotten anything. It's not an exhaustive list, so don't rely on it entirely. You can check out the website nonchalantnavigator.com for more details on this kind of thing if you need more guidance or need more ideas and inspiration. But the list is here for you if you've only got the travel journal with you and you're making your plans on the road or whilst you're at home thinking about that first post-COVID trip. Hopefully you'll never need that one, of course. And as I said, you've got the blank trip planning pages. These are a little bit different because I put must-see attractions on here for all the things that you clues in the title, must see. Food and drink to try. Keywords and phrases. Now there's a bit more structure on this one as well. And I've always found at the very least you should learn hello and thank you. For when you're passing that dog walker on the street, when you're receiving that bit of food from the restaurant, saying hello and thank you can go such a long way. And I always feel a bit more, a part of the culture that I've achieved something if I learn a little nugget of the language as I travel. And as I alluded to earlier, you've got your plain pages here for the trip planning elements you want to do all by yourself. If there's anything I haven't mentioned before, you put that in here. Now for the main source material of the travel journal, the actual journaling phase. As I have included with all the previous sections, there are some prompts and ideas for you to use here. You don't have to use them. If you're ever stuck or have some writer's block, or if you're new to travel journaling, then I'd recommend to just have a quick look through this list so you have an idea of what kind of things to write. Everyone's travel journal is different. This is about you. It's your unique memory of your travels and your unique reminder, so you can tell the stories to your friends or your children or your grandkids or whatever it may be. So for instance, vacation stories, good or bad, include that time you lose your passport, include that time you've seen a wonder of the world and you're in absolute awe. Food reviews, people you see and meet, people you may never meet again, but you'll remember when you read a travel journal. Things to tell friends and family, reflections on your trip, and just a plethora of other things you could mention in your travel journal. So that's really been a whistle-stop tour of what's included in this travel journal and trip planner. You've got the blank pages with a date for each page, and you can copy more of these and print more of these if you're using this for multiple trips or even just one trip and you're writing so much, if it's been a long trip or you've got a lot of source material to write about. The more experiences, the more you write it down, even if it's just a few sentences per night. The final pages of the travel journal and holiday planner is just a bit about me, a bit about the blog. You don't have to read it. But also, if you need any help where to go, you can contact me on social media at Nonchalant Navigator, on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. Contact me on email, charlie@nonchalantnavigator.com. If you haven't downloaded the free travel journal yet, then I'd advise you to go to nonchalantnavigator.com and you can just download it from there. If you put in your email, I can send it to you straight away. You'll get a unique link which you click, and then you can download the PDF straight onto your laptop, phone, tablet, whatever device you use. And you can start journaling, you can start planning for that first post-COVID trip. Take care everyone, have a good day.